Welcome to a special edition of the Darden Admissions Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Twitty, and you are listening to a new episode. On this episode of the podcast, I'm excited to share my recent conversation with Stephen Shu. Stephen is a PhD candidate in the data analytics and decision sciences area here at the Darden School of Business, and he and I recently connected to talk more about his background, his decision to pursue a PhD, what led him to Darden, how his experience has gone, and so much more. I think you're really going to enjoy this conversation. And as always, if this conversation is helpful for you, please like this episode and subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an update. And remember, you can always check the episode description for links to Darden blogs, social channels, and more. And now, without further ado, here's my conversation with Stephen Shu. Stephen, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Brad. Yeah, it's very honored to get invited to this podcast. Yes, thank you for the invitation. This gives me a good chance to look back to my PhD journey because it has been a long journey since I get admitted. Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's great to have you here. How's everything going? How are you doing?
That's pretty good. I just finished my comprehensive exam last week, and it's my summer vacation. I think everything goes very well. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking some time for the podcast and enjoy always connecting with folks. I'm learning about the PhD program as we have people here on the podcast. So tell us a little bit more about you. Who are you and what's your background?
Okay, I'm Steven, and my Chinese name is Xin Xu, and I was born in China and also get all my degrees, high school and my undergrad in China. And after that, I get my master degree in Singapore. So before joining Darden, my background is very Asian. And after finishing the master degree, like most of the master students, I went to industry. I work as over 1 year in Tencent as a product manager. So yeah, it might be not very a common experience for PhD. So after that, I quit from Tencent and started to apply for the PhD, and then I'm here in Darwin.
What did you do your master's degree in?
Both of my undergrad and master are about economics, and all my internships are about some financial service job, like the accounting, like the mutual fund. Yeah, but at the end, for my job, my first formal job, I went to tech in Tencent as product manager. So yeah, it is quite uh, I don't know, it is maybe quite a diverge from my background to my first job, and also quite diverge from my first job to PhD. Yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of the guy that like changing and like challenging. Yeah.
How did you decide you wanted to pursue a PhD?
Oh yeah, it is a this is a question that I get asked a lot. I would say it will be driven by two forces. The first one is the internal one, maybe the endogenous one. It is because I love studying, I love research, yeah, and I also like to take the challenges. And I think the PhD is like a long journey, and have a lot of challenging stuff. You need to learn a lot of cutting edge stuff and doing a lot of research by yourself. It quite challenging. Yeah, I like kind of the job. And the second one is kind of external, because when I work as a product manager in Tencent, actually it is a good job, but the Chinese economy goes down because of the COVID and a lot of other issues. And as individuals, is very likely to get affected by the economic cycle. So to be less affected and to stay more independent, uh, get to be more independent and to pursue my own dreams, I think PhD and the academia might be a better solution. yeah, and that's why it drive me to apply for the PhD. And I think the when I look back, the uh, most precious experience thing that my experience tell me is that because I went to the industry before applying for the PhD, the industry kind of the counterfactual for the PhD, right? A lot of PhD students will think, okay, what if I didn't apply for a PhD? I go to work. What would my life be like? So I have the answer for that. So I have very strong instant motivation for apply for a PhD. I know the current life is what I want, and I really want to be a PhD and stay in academia. Yeah, that's my motivation.
Well, what got you interested in Darden specifically? Obviously, a lot of places you could do your
Yeah.
PhD. What led you to Charlottesville?
I would say I applied for a lot of like PhD programs in 2023, and I got also a lot of offers, some in Europe, and actually my at first I want to go to Europe for my PhD for my PhD, but when I got a offer from Darden, and I started to check very carefully of the website of the all the information, and I started, oh, I think I like this business school, and also I chat with the faculty in my program. Everyone very nice, and I think I'll be very welcomed. And it is also the first cohort, and it is also another very challenging and uncertain stuff for the PhD students. Yeah, it means maybe the variance will be very high. You will have a lot of chances because you're the first student, but yeah, you will also have like a lot of uncertainties. But I think the payoff and will be very high, and I think it will be a very quite interesting journey for me. So I went to Darwin.
So you were excited about being part of the, we've had a PhD program in the past, but we're kind of
Yeah,
restarting the program. So you're excited to
yeah.
be part of that sort of restart.
Yeah. I'm very excited of the part of be the part of the restart, and I think the DADS the program is a new program, and the SEE program is like several years ago we have like this program for a long time, and we restarted. And for the DADS program, we just open it, and I think both programs are perfect. Yeah.
Do you obviously, there's a little bit of an ecosystem of PhD students at Darden, both across, as you mentioned, decision analytics and data sciences, as well as SEE, which is strategy, ethics, and entrepreneurship. Have you gotten to know all of the PhD students, even if they're not in your
Yeah.
discipline? Have you met the SEE folks too?
Y- yeah. We are very good friends. We meet a lot in our personal life, and we will have gatherings maybe monthly or even bi-weekly. Yeah, because we share the share the office, and we also have the orientations, some of the orientation events together. We have yeah, we chat a lot in our personal life. Yeah, we're very close friends.
What has the adjustment been like moving to Charlottesville?
Yeah, it is a big commitment. It is a quite big change for me because I used to live in the big city in China, Shenzhen and Shanghai, and Charlottesville is a cute and small city, like a university town in in United States. So a lot of change, the city's scale and also the culture from the Asian to like American. Yeah, it is quite of like a big change. So I got to spend some time to get used to it. But overall, I think the Charlottesville is a quite a good place to live and also a perfect place for PhD to like dive into your own research and study. Yeah, I think it's great.
So you've enjoyed your time in Charlottesville.
Yeah, I quite enjoy my time. Even when I travel back to China last summer, I like after 2 weeks, I started to miss the life in Charlottesville. Yeah, that's unbelievable. I can imagine that I started to like miss the year like only 2 weeks in China. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about where you are in your PhD process.
Currently, I'm in the end of my second year, and formally it will be have like 5 years in the PhD program for the most like the business PhD program in United States. And the first 2 years are for the courseworks. And at the end of the first 2 years, you need to take the comprehensive exam, which is the exam that I took last week. And once you pass it, and you can start it as the PhD candidate. So from the third year to fifth year, you will work as like you don't need to take any courses. You need to just like more like a research scientist to start to prepare for your own thesis and your research papers. So the last 3 years are the time giving to you to like write a paper to prepare for your job market. Yeah.
You mentioned your background was in economics, but what got you interested in data analytics and decision sciences? How did you decide that that's what you
Mhm.
wanted to pursue your PhD in?
Oh, the economics actually has uh like a big overlap with the DADS, the data analytics and decision science, especially the decision science, because both of the we use a lot of macroeconomic theory as our core, the fundamental theory. And but maybe the focus will be different. The economics are focused on maybe on the welfare, the equilibrium, and the decision science, and also the data analytics. Maybe are more focused on the business insight, on focused on the specific things. I think my industry experience drove me to that point because I work as in Tencent. I have some like more, I have stronger incentive to dive into a more specific project rather than a very general abstract one. Yeah, but also my economic background helped me to have the prerequisite courses or the tool and for the research in my field. Yeah. So I always think it's a very good combination.
And you mentioned that you're going to be working on a thesis. Obviously, you're going to spend a lot of time researching and writing as you move forward in your PhD program. What do you think you're going to study? I mean, what's caught your interest?
You mean started to think about your ideas and yeah, I would say it's very tricky because the ideas need to be unique, creative, and also you also need to be like a doable. So I would suggest the first idea you should like talk have a very like careful discussion with your own advisor, and it would be better if your advisor give you a, a very like basic idea, and you started from that idea to like generate and develop it to your own ideas. And I would say it would be like safe option. But of course, if you are like very interested in a topic for a long time, and that is the reason that you apply for the PhD, yeah, just go ahead and you can try to think about it, come up with some ideas and discuss with your advisor. Yeah, I think both will work. Come, either your advisor give you an idea, you develop it, or you come up with an idea and you sell it to your advisor. And if your advisor buy it, you can work together with your advisor. Yeah.
Are there any areas of data analytics or decision sciences that have caught your attention? Obviously, there's a lot that's happening in that world, but anything that you're particularly interested in?
Yeah, I have several projects. My current projects are about uh, decision making under uncertainty that you know nothing, and maybe we can find some way to give some heuristic or decision rule for the decision maker to or the firms to make the rational decision under this such uncertainty. And I'm also interested into the uh, large language model sampling. Yeah, because as you know, the AI is very get more and more trending and popular right now. And I also have two projects. Yeah, I have one paper is submitted to NeurIPS, which is a computer science conference. It is also about uh, how to use uh, our model to help the large language model to better to decide when to decide sampling or not. Because as you know, when you use AI for answer, you, it is when you don't know the answer of your question, you don't know when to stop. But maybe our it is kind of also kind of like a model of the decision making on uncertainty because you know nothing about the question you are asking. So maybe our model can give some insight to when to stop to ask the questions to large language models because it can be very costly if you like keep asking it and you'll be very like not a very economic way. Yeah.
We talked with Skylar Clark Hamill about his experience in strategy, ethics, and entrepreneurship area in the PhD program. And he said they started off first couple of years just reading a lot and being in sort of small group conversations. Has that been your experience in the dads area? Has that been what your experiences look like?
Yeah, I also have a lot of reading works about papers, but I think these two programs are slightly different because the SE is more like qualitative, and my program is more like quantitative focused. So the coursework are quite different. For SE, their coursework are maybe some like strategy and a lot of discussion, a lot of reading. My coursework are a lot of math, a lot of modeling. So it is maybe less reading than them, but I have a lot of math works to do.
What faculty do you work closely with in your PhD program?
Currently, my advisor is Manuel Basius, and I also work closely with Sasha Zoc, and I also have uh, regular meeting with the other faculty in DADS because everyone is very nice. Yeah, because I think a great thing for business PhD that you can have a lot of chance to work with a lot of like faculty in your PhD program. Yeah, you don't need to uh committed to one and yeah just work and meet with them. And everyone in the program are very uh willing and also excited to talk with me and to share their research ideas and give me some advice. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Well, what are you looking forward to in the months ahead?
In the months ahead, uh, I'm going to take a conference in Singapore next week. I'm going to present my own work, so finger crossed I will do a good job. I will, yeah. And after that, I plan to take a week break in Asia, and then I want to uh, finish my another paper before the September. Yeah, I hope I can be efficient enough to finish that.
What are you presenting at the conference in Singapore?
Yeah, it is a working paper, which is like a finished working paper. Work with Manuel Basius and Sasha Zog, and it is a paper about it's quite technical. It is called about search. Yeah, the search on the uncertainty. Yeah, and it also tell the decision maker how to make their rational decision. Yeah, it is a quite a technical, but I think a very cute paper, and I'm going to present it in Singapore.
Are you excited about that?
Yeah, sure. I'm very excited about it because it is a project I spent. Also, my advisor and me was three of us spent like over 1 year on this project, and I think it is the moment I can get some pleasure and excitement. If like the listeners like it, I think it can give me a lot of like pleasure, and I will also be my incentives for my future work. Yeah, I really look forward to it.
I appreciate that, Stephen. So, what would you want our listeners who may be thinking about a PhD program, maybe thinking about Darden's PhD program, to know as they consider their own journeys? Would you have any advice or tips for them?
Um, I would say the motivation and I would say the motivation and the passion are the two most important factors you need to consider before apply for a PhD. Yeah, because if you do not have a strong motivation, PhD can be a quite unpleasant journey to you because it's a very big commitment. It takes 5 years of your life to finish that degree, and yeah, nobody wants to be regretful after their decision, right? So think carefully about your motivation, and if you decide that you really want to do it, just do it. Be brave and just pursue your own dreams. I think if you have like strong motivation for that, just start to prepare for it. I think everyone could get like a very good result if you like um, prepare it carefully.
Do you hope, Stephen, to one day teach? Is academia your end goal? Is that what you're pushing towards?
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to stay in academia. Yeah, I want to. My goal is to stay in US, in our university as a assistant professor. This is my goal for my job market. Yeah, so the teaching should be like required, and also the research is also a very important part for a professor. Yeah.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for your time and thank you for coming on the podcast and sharing your story with our listeners.
Oh, thank you very much, Brad. Thank you for your invitation.
And that was my conversation with Stephen Shu, a PhD candidate in the data analytics and decision sciences area here at the Darden School of Business. As always, if you have any comments, suggestions, requests, anything like for us to cover here on the podcast, we're all ears. We can be reached at Darden, that's DARDEN, @virginia.edu. Until next time, stay safe, be well, and thanks for listening.